So we are the faces behind the account At Home with Ivy and Ponies on Instagram. I really found that a lot of the accounts on Instagram were very much like the perfect ride, the perfect pony, and the reality of children learning to ride and horses and ponies is just not that, unfortunately. It's amazing, but there is definitely a side to it where it's really hard work.
If you fall off, like, what do you do? What do you say to yourself?
So, right, Ivy, you've got this, try your best, do it again, and get your confidence back. That's what I say to myself.
We've tried to just really emphasise that the little moments matter just as much as the big moments. They don't happen all the time, so you kind of have to really think about how amazing those little moments are in the moments of chaos, if that makes sense.
It's not all about the riding, it's all about having fun with your pony. And
Laura, Ivy, welcome to the podcast. I'm so happy that you're here. So for those people that don't know about you both, can you tell us a little bit about your background, your history, what got you into horses, and what you love about them?
Do you want me to go first, and then you can add your little bits in, yeah? So thank you so much for having us. We're so excited to be here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Ivy was thrilled to be asked to be on a podcast, and one of her favourite things in life is talking. So, so we are the faces behind the account At Home with Ivy and Ponies on Instagram, and we decided
that picture.
about 5 years ago to start documenting Ivy's riding journey. So Ivy started to ride we got Ivy's first pony 2 weeks before she turned 2. So, yeah.
Poppy, then we got Patch, who's a bit cheeky, then we got Gwen, now we've got Puzzle. It's all gone through.
So we're now like 4
ponies.
Yeah. I've come from a relatively equestrian background. So my mum had horses growing up and was a riding instructor herself. And then, as all mums do, decided to get her daughters into riding. So me and my sister took to it.
You didn't like it, so now your mum has your horse who you were meant to ride and have fun with, but now she has it because you didn't like it.
Yeah, so I kind of fell out of love with it. I kind of turned 18.
I was like, no, I don't like it. I'd go off and do something else.
Yeah, I decided that it wasn't for me. But I rode growing up as a teenager. So I had all the lovely experiences with friends riding, and we did a little bit of hunting and a bit of, it was more fun. It wasn't like it is now. It was more just, you just messed about on the horses, really.
Mm-hmm.
And then my mum's always carried on. So like Ivy says, we bought a horse to break in when I was 16, 17. And then she ended up doing it all because me and Anna, my sister, just both kind of went off. Anna went to uni, I went and got a job, and we just kind of fell out of love with it. So as soon as I found out I was pregnant with a girl, my mum was like, well, this is it. We can start again now and hopefully have a granddaughter.
And it has happened.
And it has happened, yeah. We decided to get Ivy her first pony, like I said, a couple of weeks before she was 2.
Yeah.
To be honest,
like a surprise thing.
We've never really looked back.
I think I started riding on Poppy when I was 1.
You were 1, yeah.
And then we got Patch when I was nearly 2.
Yeah.
And then we got Gwen when I was nearly 4.
Yeah.
And we got Puzzle when I'm nearly 7.
Wow.
So it's all gone like 1, then
you've had the natural progression through the ponies, haven't you, over the last few years?
It's always been before my birthday.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So that's kind of how we are, where we are, really. I mean, my poor husband is completely non-equestrian. Now lives in an equestrian property and drives around twice a week, ferrying Ivy's ponies everywhere.
We worked home, so that's a bad thing as well. So Daddy's like coming home from work, like, oh, right, I'm just going to go chill upstairs. And then he's like, no, you're like, no, pony needs riding. We need to go out. Like, if you were to, it would be so much better.
I know, Mummy doesn't want to turn, does she? So that's kind of how we are, where we are. And at the time when we started our little Instagram journey, I really found that a lot of the accounts on Instagram were very much like the perfect ride, just like when we talked for 2 minutes. The perfect ride, the perfect pony, and the reality of children learning to ride and horses and ponies is just not that, unfortunately. it's amazing, but there is definitely a side to it where it's really hard work. So we were kind of going on using social media to connect with a few people that were in a similar position to us. I didn't have many pony mum friends. And then was feeling really rubbish about what I was seeing, because we'd have, Ivy struggled to learn to do a rising trot, and then we've really had a journey getting off the lead rein. But then you go on Instagram and you see all these wonderful children on these wonderful ponies, and it was a bit like, what are we doing wrong? So I kind of felt that our platform was a bit more of a real account. I wanted to document for other people going through a similar journey, that actually it isn't all beautiful and pretty and amazing. There's a lot of setbacks to learning to ride. And that's kind of how we ended up on Instagram, really.
I think you're right. And I think you get all these sort of finished articles, don't you? That it's like, yeah, look at me, it's done. And like you said, 8-9 years old, and it's like, and you look at yourself and you may be struggling coming off the lead or whatever it is, or you come off the lead and then go back on the lead, and it's like, what are we doing wrong? And I think it's just all part of the journey. And I think it's very important, like you're doing, is showing both sides of it. It's like, yeah, sometimes you might go up, you might come down, but as long as that trajectory is on and upwards, you're doing the right.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like we've tried to just really emphasize that the little moments matter just as much as the big moments, but they don't happen all the time. So you kind of have to really, you have to really think about how amazing those little moments are in the moments of chaos, if that makes sense. Like it's really easy to have a lesson and come away feeling really negative, but actually trying to focus on the one positive thing that's happened in that lesson, it pushes you on that, that progressive trajectory to get to where you need to be. And at the end of the day, these big eventer riders and the people competing for the Olympics and stuff, they still are having slip-ups behind closed doors. You're just not seeing it. And I think that was kind of where we wanted the account to go, and why we wanted to try and like raise awareness for that. And also document the fun bits, because we have so much fun with the horses, and that it isn't all about riding as well.
It's all about taking it steady and having a bit of fun as well.
Yeah. Great. So, you go to these events and you see these parents that are, so kids are riding 5 times a week, they're having all these lessons, and the riders are amazing, but actually
it's not all about the riding, it's all about having fun with your pony. And
we like hacking and just doing the bits that aren't like train all the time as well.
You definitely have a good balance.
Yeah, it's taken a while to get there. I mean, over the last couple of years, we joined Pony Club, and it's been brilliant for us. But it's just but it's just very. You're almost comparing your child to other children and their ability, and I think you then can get a bit obsessive with the narrative that you kind of want your child to be the best child there, and they're not jumping the same sort of height jumps and things. And actually, everyone's on their own little journey, aren't they? It doesn't really matter what everybody else is doing. It's kind of what
100%.
What you're doing.
100%. Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah, and it's something that I think you need to teach them as well.
It's very difficult. It's very difficult. I mean, we've had it as well, not just with horse riding, with football or whatever it is. It's like there's a certain competitiveness, especially around parents who want their child to be the best, but in reality, it can make the actual experience of riding a negative one, because there's so much pressure on, not an Ivy, but on the kid to do well. And I don't think a lot of people realize that until it's too late, when they fall out of love with it or they don't want to do it anymore. And by the sounds of it, you guys have got a good balance of it. It's like when we go to Pony Club, if we go into a competition, we always go with the aim to win, but it doesn't matter if we win or not.
And like we've always struggled in winter. I mean, Ivy's probably the first winter where Ivy's consistently wanted to ride. I remember, and it's our first winter not at a livery yard, but I remember the last 3 winters, Ivy completely not wanting to even be down there because it was so cold. And I'm like saying to my mum, she's not going to want to ride. She's falling out of love with it. Actually, it was just at the time, it was just cold and she didn't want to be there. And you kind of eat yourself up about things like that when actually we just let her do what she needed to do over winter. And then as soon as the sun came out, it was like she wanted to be back down with the horses and she wanted to be, she doesn't get that luxury now because they're outside the back door and she has to be in the cold.
Yeah, no.
And like you say, there definitely is a pressure, but I think it's trying to just take a step back and kind of, I always say, stay in your own lane, do whatever you need to do that makes you happy in that lane, and then everybody else can be in their lanes, and then you can all join together and have fun, but you don't have to be doing everything that everybody else is doing.
No, I agree. Well, I mean, Ivy, do you remember the first time you ever sat on a horse?
Maybe, I think. I don't know. No.
We had this conversation.
Remember. Yeah.
It wasn't one of our horses. It was a friend's horse.
Yeah.
It was Tinks.
Oh, yes, Tinks. So my good friend who's into horse riding at the moment, loves it. And she was a bit younger than me because I'm a bit older than her. So basically, I went to ride on her pony and I screamed that thing. Yes. I hated it, and then now I've got into that.
You hated it.
Really,
she was about, I think you were under a year when you were first ever sat on a pony.
Wow.
And you screamed.
Yeah, the place down.
Fair enough.
And now I'm like, I want to ride every day, but now, like, I go back to that moment. I'm like, I was screaming on a pony, and now I love it.
So do you so you remember when you first sat and you were a little bit scared? But when did you start getting excited about it? Like, what was the first pony that you thought, oh yes, I love this?
I think when I sat on Poppy, I was giggling. I was basically loving life.
That was we had little learn ponies on Poppy when you were first little.
And then she had to go back.
She was. And she was just, it's like Dixie. As soon as she sat on, that was it. She wanted to be really? On. And you almost had no fear at that point. I mean, Dixie is hilarious. If you sit Dixie on the
she will never get off.
She really paddies when you take her off now.
Really?
She's like, every single day we're going on to the yard, she's like, no green car, no trampoline. We're going in the ponies. Yeah. And then Patty's like, I want your fingers, I want to nibble your fingers. And she's like, but we pull her away because Patty's nibbling her fingers. So it's like, Dixie, Patty's nibbling your fingers. You can't be near that pony.
She's got no fear, has she? No. I think Poppy was the game-changing pony for you, wasn't it? Your first ever little pony that you just potted around on and you kind of learned the basics on her, didn't you?
Yeah, and then I got older and I just whizzing off, really. Well, not whizzing off, but like going off.
Yeah.
I love how confident and talkative you are, Ivy. I think it's fantastic, honestly. Absolutely amazing.
You don't live with her.
Well, I'm only here for probably an hour or so. I'm joking. No, it's great. It's great.
Yeah, she is.
You've no idea how amazing your confidence is and how talkative and outgoing you are. It's really good to set you up through life. Honestly, it's fantastic. Really, really amazing. So when you said you got Ivy her first pony when she was about 2, right? What was the process behind that? Was that a difficult process? I'm more trying to say for any parents out there that are thinking of, my child's 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever age, like what is the process that you went through to go, okay, I'm going to find this pony. It needs to be X, Y, Z. Like, was there any sort of thinking behind it? Was there any process that you went through?
I suppose for us, riding schools, when I was a child, riding schools were huge. And if your child wanted to ride, you would take them to a riding school, you would pay whatever fee and you would have a lesson and come away. Where we are now, there are few and far between riding schools. So it wasn't really an option for us. That was kind of what my first, and getting a riding school where they take them at such a young age as well. A lot of the riding schools, for insurance reasons, you can't actually go until you're 3 or 4. So that was out the question. We got offered this learn pony Poppy to us. It was kind of just a bit of, let's go for it and see what happens. My mum had a horse at the same time, so she was there to kind of help me.
She knew what was...
And I've had to relearn a lot because it is, you do forget. So I suppose my advice to anybody that is looking potentially into doing it is, I think a learn is a lovely way to start, or a share, something like that. I think it's a lot of money and time to put into something when you actually don't know what it's going to look like for them because they are so little.
Because you never know, if you buy a pony, you spend all that money on it and it's not right, you never know. Because if you get a learn pony, you can make sure it's all right and go from there and then give it back. And
so I suppose Ivy spent time with the horses, so I knew she wasn't scared of them. She was quite happy to be around them. We've got friends that children have not been around them before and they won't go near them. They're a big animal, aren't they? So I suppose for us it was kind of a natural progression, and we were given an opportunity, and it was a bit like, right, let's just run with it and see how we get on with it. And it just sparked a little fire in Ivy that I think has never gone out, and we've kind of rolled with it. And then we ended up buying the little miniature patch. We wanted to be a bit more committed at that point. It was kind of like a trial. The learn went really well, but actually we wanted to be a little bit more committed. And because we knew Ivy loved it so much, we were quite happy to then look at buying something. It's a really, really big commitment, and it's a really big decision to make. It's not like buying a hamster, as I always joke about. They need a lot more care than a lot of other pets.
It's true, but I think you're right. I think that the way you've done it is correct, because I think I remember I tell this story multiple times, but there was a lady at we run a riding school in Manchester, it's still there, and a lady just went out and bought a horse just after having like a few lessons. Didn't know how to look after them or anything like that. And I think that's the way you've done it is you've gone into loan to see if she likes it, and then gone that step further and further. You've just not jumped into it straight away, which is a far better thing for not only Ivy, but I think for the horse as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think like we had my mum there who could help us and guide us. I mean, we couldn't have done it on our own. At the time I was working, and busy parents with the horse on livery. It's a lot of time as well that you're taking up out of your day. So my mum's helped us like tremendously throughout this whole thing. I couldn't have done it with her. And I think that is another thing I would advise, is to try and find somebody that knows what they're doing in such terms, has a bit of experience, as well to help. It can be a really tricky life. So I think you need people to be there to guide you and help you as well. And to help with the juggle of it all. I mean, being an equestrian as an adult is totally different to being an equestrian with children.
Definitely.
And I think a lot of people have learned that. Like, I've got a friend who has ridden all her life, and now she's got children, and actually she's not riding as much as she was because her children are wanting to ride, whereas I've never really had that because I'm really, really back into it because of Ivy. So that's something else to consider as well, is that it's very, very time consuming. So I think you do need the right people around you as well.
Oh, definitely. I mean, my wife, she rides. My daughter rides as well, and it's like you said, it's like doing all the horses and riding and making sure that the kids are getting to. I mean, we've got a pony club quiz tonight, I think, and that's like 2-3 hours out of the thing. But you said you used to be into it when you were a teenager, and then fell out of love with it for whatever reason, and then so did you have to sort of have a bit of a recap from your mum, like what to do with these horses, or did it come back very naturally?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose, it's like riding a bike, you don't forget. But there's an element to it where, as a daughter, Ivy's going to have to, Ivy learning to be an equestrian on her own without me when she's older is totally different to having a mum guide you, I suppose, isn't it? When we were kids, my mum dealt with all of the feeding, the mucking out, all the, she went and got all the bedding, and I didn't have to think about any of that. Whereas when we got Poppy, it was like, what do I need? Do I put her on straws? Do I put her on shavings? What feed does she need to be on? I remember taking you to the tack shop for the first time, and I was a bit like, so what do I actually need for this pony? you are kind of like relearning it, I suppose. And then we've ended up with 2 Shetlands. Shetlands are a whole new ball game to a standard pony. Like I've learned so much having just Shetland ponies. And then like now we've got a little Welsh section A. He's a totally different kettle of fish as well now. So I think you're always progressing and learning. But yeah, I definitely have to be reminded of the general care of them. Absolutely.
Definitely. It takes a lot, doesn't it? So remind me again, Ivy, how many ponies have you got?
4, but one's gone online. So we have Patch, Puzzle, Gwen and Robin, but Robin's like your mum's. I do have Sittler son, but
yeah. So at the minute we've got my mum's horse Robin. He's a 15-2 Appaloosa. He's 18 years old. And then we've got
Puzzle,
Patch, who is the little miniature. She'll stay with us forever. She's the little screwball, isn't she? She's really cheeky. She's Ivy's first ever pony. He's 17 and will just live out the rest of her days being a bully because she just bullies me all the time.
I have like 2 people here to put her out in because she'll go zooming off and then you can't catch her and then she's like, you know.
And then we've got Gwen, who's Ivy's like lead rein first ridden pony.
She's 12 this year, I think.
Yeah, she's out on loan at the minute. She's gone to a little lead rein family just to keep her ticking over.
Make sure she actually likes it.
And then we've got Puzzle, which we got in December, and he's on loan to us from a pony club family. So yeah.
Wow.
It's all gone.
So 3 here at the minute.
Wow. Well, that's incredible. I mean, so Ivy, what does you wake up on a Saturday morning? Yeah, obviously very, very early before everybody gets up, I assume, because my kids do that as well. So what's your perfect pony day? What is it like? If you had the whole day and you could do anything on your ponies, what would it look like? What would the day look like?
I mean, I would wake up, I would have breakfast, and I would have breakfast in the front room, really. And I would watch me, and then I would go outside, really, and ride. And then
what would you do if you could do anything? Where would you go? What would you do?
I would go to the beach. And then I would have lunch with the pony at the beach. And then I would come back and bath the pony and then have tea.
Sounds like a good day.
We like bathing and grooming and things, don't we? I think that's really important as well to know that.
Keep them clean and healthy.
You know, if you are, Ivy's first couple of years of having a horse was 80% leading them about and grooming them and 20% riding. It is such a massive part of it, isn't it? You know, it's massive. Like picking out the feet. I still like picking out their feet now. That was always my favourite job as a kid, was picking out the feet. Like those things don't leave you.
Picking out feet. I'll just leave the body when I was little, and I was used to go pick out feet, and then I used to shout you because you're probably in the stable, and I'll say, "Mummy, I'm done," and then it'll come out and like, she's not. Her body's filthy. She's not doing a good job. I'll just say. I just do the feet. That's all I want to do. I love doing feet.
Oh, amazing. So that'd be your perfect. So lots of riding and lots of grooming. That's what you'd like, and bathing. You know, sounds like a good day to me.
We're looking forward to some sunshine, aren't we? So we can do some baths.
Yeah. I actually love summer because you can go out with your friends and the beaches are so hot. So you go out and you get to go in the sea. And what I think on the sea is, you can't really go in the sea because, like, last time with Gwen, the waves were scaring us. So it's like, she won't go in. I wanted to go in. I was like, get her in, but she wouldn't. Hopefully Puzzle will, because he loves water.
I think Puzzle will like water, won't he? So that sounds like a good pony day. We're only about 10 minutes from the beach as well, so.
Yeah.
You're only 10 minutes away from the beach? Wow, that's do you hack down there? Or is that a trailer ride or is it a car?
Yeah, it's a trailer ride. Yeah, trailer ride. But yeah, we're really close, so that's really good.
That's perfect.
And one of the beaches has got like really good access.
Yeah.
So you can just park up and go down.
Hey, I tell you one thing as well. We live near a beach as well, and we've had like endurance riders on here, Linda, and that might be something that you guys could do at your pony club, is like an endurance practice rally. And basically, endurance, what it is, they go for hundreds of miles over a few days, literally galloping over mountains,
Wow.
beaches. It's phenomenal. And maybe when you're older, Ivy, maybe that's something you'd like to try and do. You might have to get just a slightly bigger horse, though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, you bet.
Well, speaking of Pony Club as well, how has Pony Club helped with your riding? Like, is it? Go on, Ivy.
Teaching you like how to jump, and like it's got a lot of confidence, and it's made me a lot like give me more confidence, and it just helped me.
Originally, it was great to get Ivy in a group, seeing other children. I think there's a really good element where you can see children that are progressing more than you are, and that kind of inspires. But then you've also got the children that are just starting out, that you inspire them. So I think there's a really nice, we've got a really different group of completely different abilities and from different backgrounds. So that originally was absolutely fantastic. And being around other friends that have got ponies, because that's one thing that you don't really have. You didn't have a lot of, did you? And now there's a big group of them, and I think they are a different breed, our pony girls, compared to not pony girls. Like, these girls are quite happy to run around a sand school for an hour and clip each other to lead ropes and gallop about. She doesn't get that with her school friends.
No, it's a completely different world, isn't it? I mean, you just touched on something, and we'll come back to the Pony Club. But Ivy, when you've got your friends at school, because my daughter Aya, she's got her horsey friends, and she's got her school friends. Now, the horsey friends and the school friends are completely different. But then when you're in school, do you find that a lot of the time you are, you're a bit more talkative than your other friends in school? Are you the first one to answer questions in school? Do people come to, are you a bit more confident than your other friends in school?
I'm definitely a lot more confident than my friends in school, because I'm like, if we go on a school trip and around animals, I'll just be so confident where I'll be like, and I'm not that confident around them. Yeah, I'm quite confident in them. Really confident.
I do think it makes a difference.
I was going to say, do you think the horses have helped you with that? Do you think that yeah? Do you think that's what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think this is. I think
you've got to be quite brave to ride a horse as well. So I think that definitely helps as well, doesn't it? And I think just being around animals in general is such a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
They learn a lot because they're having to bond with something that can't talk. And as daft as that sounds, I think Ivy's very, very empathetic. She's quite sensitive, and she's, she thinks about other people. I think all that's come from being around horses as well.
Definitely. And another question I want to ask you, Ivy. When you're riding, and obviously it happens to everybody, when you fall off, yeah, what do you do?
I would normally go to you, give you a hug, then I'd go over to the pony and just say, I would just stroke on the nose and just get my confidence back on it, and then I would hop back on and try again, and then basically that's what happens.
Yeah, you're pretty good. Yeah.
Love it.
First time off puzzle, fell off, went over this, well, it was racing really, but not racing. He went like, wee, jump. Shoulder drop. So not really shoulder drop, but he lost his balance, and then he went like that, and then I came flying off.
So you're quite resilient then. Yeah, quite tough. Okay.
It's kind of part of it, I suppose, isn't it? I think the first fall for you as a mum as well is like, oh my
God. Yeah.
Now it's a bit like, are you okay? Are you hurt? No, right, come on then, get back on. And you don't ever fight me for that. She's quite happy just to give it another go. Again, if she's jumping and she knocks a pearl, she's quite determined to go back around and do it. And again, I think that helped, that I'm hoping that'll filtrate through everything she does in life as well.
Definitely. definitely. I think this is one of the massive thing in especially with the horse riding is that, you know, everyone's going to fail, everyone's going to fall off in a sense, get disappointed, whatever it is. But it depends what you do after that disappointment. And I think that especially in the horse riding world, teaching kids at a young age, okay, you've had a fall, something, you know, negative has happened, don't give up, you're carrying on. And I think it's such an important lesson to take through life with you, because that's one of the most important aspects, I think, of a personality, is to keep going no matter what life throws at you.
Yeah.
Really,
yeah,
really
absolutely.
special.
I mean, the little black Shetland we had, Gwen, she was bought to go off the lead rein, and it didn't happen overnight. I kind of in my head thought we were going to get this off the lead rein pony and off they'd go into the sunset, and the reality was it wasn't like that. We had to go back on lead rein. We've had to do months and months on the lunge, and you know, the last 6 months of having her, she did get off the lead rein, but it wasn't just a case of that's what was going to happen. Ivy had to work really hard to get to that point and build little baby steps to get to where she needed to be, and have setbacks and go back to the drawing board. And we know we've had hours and hours of conversations of what we can try and do to help them birth. And I think at such a young age, what an amazing experience that is, that the love for the pony's there no matter what. So we have to try and work our way through all this to get to the outcome that, and then watching them last summer showing on their own was just the best thing ever. And I just, you know, I think that feeling of feeling proud and knowing that she's put all that hard work in behind the scenes to get to that point, and setting goals and working out how to achieve those goals as well.
Fully. I mean, this is it. You go on such a long journey with them, and clearly, you know, Ivy, you're a very, very competent little rider and a very confident one as well. So it's amazing. But you know, Laura, along the way, obviously, it's difficult being a parent. It's difficult being an equestrian parent as well. You know, you're saying with that first fall, you know, it's very hard to deal with. I know the feeling, because your heart goes in your chest. But like, what are the other like challenges along the way that you overcame, that, you know, someone listening to this can go, okay, you know, sort of to expect and how to sort of deal with it?
I think you need to realize very early on that they are animals, and no matter how much money you spend or how much time you put into a horse or a pony, they're animals at the end of the day, and they all have bad days. And I think, you know, we've had the most incredible rides, and I've, you know, rang my mum and said, it's clicked, we've done it. And then a week later she gets on and it all goes to pot, and you're like, what's happened? So I think it's trying not to set too high expectations.
Yeah.
You know, they're animals at the end of the day. Things can go wrong. They can come in you can have things planned, they come in lame. You have the physio that tells them that they think something's not quite right, or you turn up to a show and they don't perform. You know, I think it's just not having too high of an expectation and trying to just stick with what is fun. Like I said earlier, I think it's just trying to work out what the ponies enjoy, what the children enjoy, and then going with that. But I suppose, yeah, winter, the cold's tricky, the weather. I mean, we've had the wettest winter we've ever had. That's hard work at the minute. We're trying to manage a paddock that's very, very wet and turning horses out onto it. And it's probably the things that people don't even realise that you have to kind of manage as an equestrian parent. And then the disappointment when she wakes up, can we ride Ivy? It's absolutely pouring down again. We can't. That's hard. You know, then Dixie came along. That was a whole new ball game, because then I was having to try and manage a newborn baby as well as leading a pony around.
You're doing a great job.
We're just coming out of that now, but yeah,
coming into toddler phase.
Yeah, I think this year I think Dixie will enjoy hopefully the riding aspects of it this year, and you can enjoy it together. But
I think I'll be fully off lead this year, so it'll be exciting. You can just control Dixie, and I'll be.
That's the plan. Yeah, that's the plan. So yeah, I think, like I say, it's just finding what you enjoy, and just not putting too much pressure on things.
Yeah, just really enjoying, really taking the enjoyment out of it, I think.
Because I think if you lose the enjoyment, horses are too expensive and too much hard work for it not to be enjoyable. I think if you lose the enjoyment, you've lost the whole thing.
That's really good. I never thought about it that way. You're 100% correct. It's like, going to Disney World or wherever it is and then being miserable the whole time. You just can't do it. You can't do it. But so Ivy, and I know you're riding most of the time. I know this because I've seen on the videos. Is there ever any period where you and your mum have like disagreed on what height jump you should be jumping, or where you should be going for a hack or anything like that? And who wins in the arguments then?
I don't really know, but like it's.
We have disagreements, don't we, I think? And it's usually, I've learned, and this is just children in general, and you'll probably agree with me on this. Sometimes you have to let them make the decisions that you know are going to fail for them to realise what they should have done. Like, for example, put it up to 50 centimetres, I can jump it. I'm advising you not to do that. Let's end on a high. We've done really well. We've jumped 40. Let's leave it there. And then somebody will be adamant on jumping higher, and then she falls off and you say, well, I kind of told you so.
That's what does happen. Last year, I think, I was on when my riding instructor, I was like, I want to jump higher, but you were like, no, you're going to fall off. So I did it.
So when
I was like on an egg.
So Ivy, when that happens, do you start listening to your mum a lot more now than you used to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think experience has taught you that mums know best, don't they?
I still don't listen to you
though. Well, as long as you listen to her in the important parts, that's the main thing.
What's been game changing is having a riding instructor that can handle her. I think that's another bit of advice: is find a riding instructor that they click with. Because Ivy's got 2 riding instructors now who
3
they just know her inside and out, and it takes the pressure off me then, because it's different. What's hard is when you're on leader in, obviously as a mum, you're in full control. So even with riding lessons and things, I'm kind of there. They're more inclined, I think, to argue and maybe cause a bit of a scene when I'm there. Now, Ivy goes to lessons. I sit at the side. I'm nowhere near it. The instructor has to kind of get on with it. And because we found instructors that are quite firm but fair, I would say, I feel like that's kind of a game changer as well. Having people that understand them but can tell them. Ivy has a great time in her lessons, but her instructors, Ivy's a chatterbox. So a lot of the time I hear like Bronte saying, I don't mind you talking as long as you're doing what you're doing. If I'd have said that to her, all hell would have broke loose. But Ivy does listen to her.
Oh, I know that feeling. Shan's the same. My wife's the same. Like when she tries to teach Aya in a lesson, it's a disaster. But then when she goes to a riding lesson or anything like that, good as gold. No problem. I think it's that familiarity.
We've come out of lessons and she's, been told, for example, to, put her heels down a little bit more. I've been telling her for years to have her feet slightly further out of so they're on the ball of her foot, not right in. But that's no good.
Still don't listen.
But then if the teacher does it and she comes away and she says, oh, like Sally or Bronte has told me that I need to have my feet. And I'm like, oh, have they told you that, Ivy? That's really interesting because I've been telling you that for 3 years, but you haven't listened to it from me.
No, that sounds about right. So, but Ivy, can you answer the question for all parents out there? Why is that? Why is it if your mum says it, you're like, no, that's not true. But then if someone else says it, you'll be like, yeah, that's right. That's 100% right.
It's just, I don't really have to listen to my mum. She knows me too well.
I think that's probably it. I think it's back to that key thing of being comfortable.
People don't know me that well. Like with teachers, I'm naughty with you, but I'm good with teachers because they don't really know me that well.
Fair enough. That's a fair.
I want to be good for them. I don't have to be good for you.
I give that to you. There you go. You've heard it. You've heard it. You've heard it here
Well,
first.
yeah, there you go. Oh, you're funny, Ivy. Good goodness gracious, you're a very funny little one. You are. I say this to my wife. I can't. I don't know what my daughter's going to be like when she's 16. But Ivy, going to be interesting to see what you're going to be like when you're 16.
Yeah. I
Gonna be
do think me and Reese laugh. I think our hardest parenting years are yet to be born.
Yeah, I think we're all on that lines. But I think the good thing is the horses. Like I said, we used to run a riding school in Manchester, and we found that a lot of the girls and boys as well that were doing like the helpers course, that were helping out on the yard up right up until they were 16, 18, they were still very much, their social life was the horses. It wasn't going other places that they probably shouldn't have been going to. So for anybody who is listening, I think that is one positive with the horses.
Absolutely. We were having this conversation the other week about like what life's going to look like for Ivy when she's grown up and things. And I kind of joked and said, you won't be going out with your mates on a Saturday night because you'll be up at 5 a.m. grooming, ready to go jumping or whatever you're doing the next day. Like, I think I'm hoping.
No, that's not what's happening.
It will.
Some time with my friends.
I'm sure you will, but I am sure that your ponies will come first even when you're a teenager.
Yeah. Every birthday party will be a horse in form.
Even when you're 16?
Yeah.
Hopefully when you're like 30, that's what I'm hoping for. When my daughter's 30, there'll still be no boys on the scene. She'll still be, that's what I'm hoping for. Whether it happens or not is another story.
That's
so another question I had was you've built quite a big online community now, both of you, which is phenomenal. In the beginning, when you said you initially started filming it and documenting it just to show what it's really like, the ups and the downs. Did you ever think that you'd get to sort of the stage that you're at now in your sort of social media story?
No, not at all. And it wasn't really ever about that for us, I suppose. It was kind of a nice way to document pictures of Ivy. I mean, when we first started Instagram, it was just pictures. If you remember, it was you went on and you just posted pictures of what you'd obviously done that day, kind of thing. But now it's evolved so much, hasn't it, in the last 5 years? It was more just kind of to document that and to stop bombarding my personal page with pony pictures as well. I thought, let's have a nice separate account and then we can add stuff on there. And then, like I say, as we kind of followed other people's journeys, we were really inspired by other people. And it kind of just spiraled. I mean, our following's only changed dramatically in the last 6 months.
Really?
Instagram's a funny place, and I think you have to show up and be consistent. And I think we put a couple of videos on that did really well, and it was like, oh, people are actually more interested in this rather than that. So we've kind of guided our page to what our followers kind of want now. And we kind of show a bit of everything, I think. But yeah, no, I didn't. This was not the intent at all. So it's nice that it's naturally progressed that way. I think it doesn't feel forced, if that makes sense.
Definitely. And you can tell you're both very natural with it as well, which is really lovely to see. It doesn't feel forced or set up, in that sort of sense.
I think it was more for a community than anything else, because all of my friends really. Do you need a way? Go on then. All of the friends I've got, they're not equestrians. So I kind of...
Don't chat too much.
I won't.
Well, I'm not fun.
You can really see who rules the roost in this house, can't you? So I didn't really have loads of people to talk to about what life was like with horses and Ivy. And it was kind of a way that I could chat to other mums that were in similar positions. I mean, we've got, I would say, 5 accounts now that we've consistently been in contact with weekly for the last 6 years. And we've watched their children grow, and they've watched Ivy grow and Dixie. I think it came very apparent that it was more about building a community over anything. I mean, Reese laughs about my online pen pals. But actually chatting to people who get it makes such a difference.
Definitely. Definitely agree with you on that one.
And I think Instagram is about a community, isn't it? You know, it's kind of building a community of people that enjoy watching your content, but also if they've got advice they can message. And I ask advice to all sorts of different people online because I watch their journeys, and you might see something and think, oh, actually, that might work for me. You don't get that in normal life, do you really? Especially if you're not surrounding yourself with the amount of people that are in a similar situation to you.
Definitely. You know, education is very expensive, and if you can get, you know, the right education, the right information for through your community, amazing. Because a lot of, I don't know, not as much anymore, but I feel as though sometimes that the information that can help is sort of guarded, and you sort of have to make, you know, you have to pay for that to get that information. But like you said, on the communities, everybody wants to help you. Everybody wants to see you succeed, which is great. Is Ivy back? We're back now.
She's back. Yeah, and like Ivy's little black Shetland, Gwen, we found her on Instagram. We'd followed her journey for about a year and a half. Sophie, the lady that owned her, had put a thing up saying she was tentatively thinking about selling her. I'd watched the pony. Me and Ivy had watched her for a year and a half on Instagram and always dreamed of owning a pony like her. And the opportunity came up, and I said, look, can we come down and view her? We're not really in a position at the minute. We surprised you, didn't we? And I said, we're not really in a position. We're not quite ready yet. But if the right pony came up, we would consider it. And we fell in love with Gwen. And that's how we ended up with her, just through Instagram. And that was a massive thing, because you've watched the progression of a pony rather than looking on a selling website and going and having a viewing and potentially not knowing what you're buying. Whereas because they'd shared so much online, I kind of knew what I was going into with her, if that makes sense. So, I mean, we would have never even had her if it wasn't for Instagram.
Amazing. Do you ever get recognised when you're at competitions or anything?
We have a couple of times, but nothing. And it's really funny because a lot of it's, obviously, Ivy doesn't have social media herself. She doesn't use social media. She'll watch little bits that I show her, and she'll watch her own content. Ivy obviously hasn't got the understanding that like a 14-year-old would have. So like we've been to places where these teenage girls are like, it's Ivy from Instagram, and Ivy's like, what? Because they obviously have the apps and things over Ivy having the apps.
Yeah, people at school following it.
And
we did the crowd, and
we've had a few things at school, because obviously the older girls have like TikTok and things, and they see things of Ivy on school. So that navigating that's been a bit of a tricky one over the last few months. We're finding a bit of a new normal with that.
Yeah. Do any of your teachers follow you, Ivy?
Yes.
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh, so you've got to be really, really good when you're like doing recordings and that sort of thing. You can't say anything bad about it.
And they're all really positive and complimentary about it, aren't they? And lovely. But yeah, I mean, having them online is it's a different type of parenting as such.
But listen, I suppose it can work both ways. You know, if she does anything naughty at school, and they've got a direct contact with mum, you see.
There you go.
You know, you got to use it. It can work both ways. It can work both ways.
Not naughty at school. I'm naughty,
You are very good at school, aren't you? And I'm sure your teachers would say the same thing.
No, so that's great. That is great. No, but that's lovely. I mean, the social media side of it is just phenomenal. And I've not read through all of the comments and all the likes and everything, but the comments that I've seen are just lovely. You know, they're very supportive. All love her.
Yeah, and to be fair, like we've just started on Facebook, and we've now got a really lovely following of ladies that have been through this whole process with their own children and really miss it, and so love watching Ivy kind of through the eyes of memories that they used to have. And the comments, you know, the messages and things that we get are really, really lovely, because it's nice that they can watch Ivy and it brings back a childhood memory for them or a memory of their children.
Definitely. No, definitely. I think it's a very, very lovely thing, lovely community, lovely page that you've got. It's really, really, really nice. When I was flicking through some of the stuff, it was just
thank you.
It reminded me when my little one was, you know, Ivy's age, and same issue, same.
And I mean,
thing.
you know, if I can give Ivy this account when she's 16 and it's got 500,000 followers on it, then there you go, we've won, haven't we? And she can take it off and do whatever she wants with it. So that's kind of now what my goal is, to build something for her.
Definitely, that's a lovely legacy as well. It's very nice. Do you have like a favorite video? Do you have a favorite one that always sticks out in your mind?
I don't really know, but my favorite one is probably me brushing into them. I'm quite funny in that one, and
I am quite funny in
yeah.
the one where you just kind of did it yourself. You took the microphones, you set the camera up, and you filmed grooming him yourself, didn't you? I think I'll be out of a job in the next year or so because Ivy's starting to want to make content without me as well.
I want to edit videos.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I think.
Go on, sorry.
No, I was going to say, I think for you like, it's different being behind the camera, isn't it? Obviously, Ivy's there
doing it,
present with the situation, but the bits I get of her and watching herself ride, you forget about that. That's totally different, riding to then watching yourself back on it. So you kind of watch it with fresh eyes almost, because yes, she's been part of it, but actually she's not almost seen it from my perspective.
Definitely. And I bet it also helps improve your riding as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But you love watching like before and afters, and you watch like the one we did where we did what you were like when you first viewed Puzzle to now. That's really nice to be able to see.
I love
it's
like,
very nice.
How younger I was and I was struggling to now I'm like not struggling and I'm older and I can do it all myself. With the younger bits, I couldn't do it all myself. Like I was getting mad reviews, I couldn't do it. But now I'm like in an age where I can do it all and I can go out there.
Yeah, and the thing is, she doesn't realise it, but she is inspiring people. And we often get messages, from mums saying, I've shown this video to my daughter tonight. I think I put a video when we'd done the Settling In series with when we got Puzzle, and it wasn't all amazing sunshines and rainbows. We had a couple of like mishaps, and Ivy done a voiceover saying it's okay that I'm not ready to do that yet. We'll just take a step back. And I had mum saying we've just come from a really bad lesson, but I've just shown this video to them, and they know that it is okay for it to not have gone okay, and that we'll get there. And I think that for me is why we do it, really, is because if we can help other people and inspire other mums and other children, then I think you're hopefully making a community full of children that get it a bit more than just the showing off of the horses.
Definitely. I think also like at Ivy's age, my children's age as well, they're coming through like social media. When I was growing up with it, it was like modems, that was the sort of, but now it's like everything is accessible, everything is perfect, everything is exactly how it should be, and I think accounts like yours is really important because, like you said, it doesn't work all the time. You're gonna fall off, you're gonna get muddy, you're not gonna want to do it some days, but everybody has those days. But it's important to show that everybody does have those days. And Ivy, you're a great, what's the word, role model, I suppose, like you said, to other children who may have those days and think, oh, well, I've seen everybody else on Instagram, on Facebook or TikTok doing it and they don't have an issue. But it's important to show it, and I think it's great. I think it's great.
I think that is it. Ultimately, the videos that you see of the perfect rides and the perfect lessons, they're not like that. It's just what people choose to show, and I really wanted to get that through as well. I try and put videos on there that aren't really pretty. Ivy's seat's not the best. She's maybe got a stirrups too short or her heels out down, and she's a bit dangly with the reins. That's what happens when you learn to ride. You can't just be expected to plonk on a pony and there you go, off you go. So I think that's really important as well, that I really want to kind of come through the account.
Yeah.
I think it's really good. Just a question as well. I mean, I used to post a few videos of Aya when she was riding, and I don't do it anymore, only because I don't, not that I don't go to the shows, but I'm watching the shows, so I always forget to film. But there was I remember there was a video that I put up of her riding, and 99% of the comments and people were like, oh great, and then there was just one person saying, oh, her seat was wrong. And I think, well, why would you ever put something negative on like that? I think she was probably 6 at the time or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
do you ever come across anything like that? I mean,
Yeah, we
obviously,
do.
you don't have to go too much into it at the moment for obvious reasons, but you know,
No, we do. I mean, I'm very lucky in regard that, like, I'm quite thick-skinned. Ivy doesn't see what she doesn't need to see. We sit and read through comments, but it's not part of Ivy's routine. You know, I kind of read them. If we get a really nice comment, I'll tell her it. I can keep her from all the negative stuff. And we don't get loads, but we do get some, yeah. And it's really hard to read sometimes. But you just kind of have to accept that that is unfortunately part of social media. I'm pretty good. I mean, I kind of call people out on it on my stories. I'm a bit naughty, really. If someone's gone and put something on the page, I'll put it on my story and just make a little snarky comment back, maybe about, you know, maybe they should find some different time in the day to, you know, if you want to do that, 7-year-old that's learning to ride is not appropriate, but equally, like, go and find something else to do. But it is something unfortunate that you do just have to accept.
and I mean, this is it. I felt
rubbish.
It is, and I felt a bit upset when I read it on my daughter's video, but it's like you said, as a parent especially, you want to go and find them, hunt them down.
My mum gets really, really antsy about it. I can deal with it now, and I either delete or I just put them on my story, and then people will usually comment back or whatever. It's my mum gets her back up. She gets really, like, protective of her. I'm like, I can understand it. And it's the other thing is, the problem with Instagram is a lot of these reels are coming up on, like, your For You page, so they're not seeing the story behind it, you know. And actually the backstory to things. Like, I've had comments about Puzzle wearing a flash. Why have you taped his mouth shut? And a lot of these people, one, aren't equestrian, so don't understand. But two, haven't understood that we've maybe, you know, we've got Puzzle in a flash because that's what he's come with. I don't want to change too much. We're looking to take that flash away eventually, but we're just trying to do what's right for him. And people are very much quick to judge a 30-second video over actually what the massive picture is behind the scenes, whereas you don't get that with your following because you take them on the journey and they understand why you're doing what you're doing, if that makes sense.
Definitely.
And I think that's what you've got. I mean, I had a conversation a few years ago with an account, a lady called Sonia that I'm really good friends with through Instagram, and this will put it into perspective for you, and I'm hoping people will listen to this, and she won't mind me sharing this story, just to kind of put it into perspective of the negative. So she put a video of her little girl riding a Stevenson Brothers rocking horse, and she got inundated with nasty comments about how the little girl was riding a wooden rocking horse.
What?
And
Why?
I was a bit like, okay, that she was kicking it too hard. I think she was maybe carrying, like, a pretend whip or something. Playing, it was it's imaginative, it was a plaything, and she got comments about her riding a wooden horse. And I just thought, if people are going on social media to comment on you riding a wooden horse, then why are you listening to people?
Where do you stop?
Where do you stop?
Jesus.
And that, to me, I always think about that now. I think, do you know what? You can't win. You could put anything out there and anybody could say anything. It doesn't have a reflection on you as a rider or an equestrian or just a person in general. I just think it's just the way of the world, isn't it?
I'm genuinely shocked at that. Like, I can't, like, a wooden horse, like a wooden rocking horse, like that you got when you. Wow.
Yeah. So that story always kind of it makes me chuckle. But that is, and without being rude, that, you know, these are the types of people that are watching these videos on the internet and making rude comments. So you have to take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, but I always find it amazing because it's like if you were face to face with whoever it is, never in a million years would any of these people say anything. never, ever, ever. But then for some reason, because it's behind the screen, it's completely not fine.
And the thing is, I think you get an element where the equestrian world really, I think, enhances that as well, because everybody's got their own journey. They've had different riding instructors. They've had their own experiences with their own pony. They've used different they've used different techniques. Some learn to ride this way, some learn to ride that way. And I think riding is personal preference with what you've got in front of you at the end of the day, and it isn't one size fits all. So just because that worked for you doesn't mean that you commenting on my post about my pony is going to work for me, if that makes sense. You know,
no, definitely.
Doesn't make sense.
But because they've had an experience, they feel like they've watched something and then they would put a negative comment on.
Because
it's a shame, but yeah, because they know it all.
Yeah, well, this is it, Ivy. This is where you come in and tell them, no, you're wrong. I'm right. You're wrong. This is what you say to
And
us.
sometimes, I mean, we got a comment. We get, to be honest, the ones we get, they're not really about Ivy's riding. It's more like, spoiled. She's spoiled. You know, this is what privilege looks like. That kind of thing. And, you know,
right.
And you just think, oh, it is what it is, whatever. But we got one saying, this girl has never mucked out a stable in her life. And I told you about it and we laughed. We laughed so much because I was like, you want to see the girl with a new bag of shavings? Like, it's like I've got tickets to Disney. And she does muck out. So, like, we made a reel off the back of that, of Ivy.
Say what I do. Like, you can't say I don't do it, but I actually do it. Like, you get me? Like, the commenting saying, you don't muck out, but I actually do muck out.
Yeah.
They're just lying.
Well, they don't know, do they? That's the thing.
They're not lying, but they like, and it's like, they don't know that I don't muck out.
Yeah, exactly. So we'd done a reel off the back of that of Ivy in the pouring down rain, like with a wheel looking out and putting. And I thought, no, there you go, because that isn't what we're about here. And the reel did really well, and I was like, oh, I'm quite happy that she put that negative comment on now. And we kind of tried to spin it as a bit of a positive.
Yeah. Like, look.
But again, I think it's just it's the way Instagram is at the minute with these snapshot videos. You're getting a slight little.
I think you're right. And I think that whole that privilege thing, a lot of people think because you've got horses, not you, but like in general, because you've got horses, you're wealthy, and that's actually not the case at all. I think a lot of the people that I know work full time, you know, and 90% of their wage will go into their ponies.
I always say we would be really wealthy if we didn't have the horses.
Yeah. But this is
great. Our money have money, because your money does go back into them ultimately, doesn't it?
You like spending money on me.
Yeah, I do like spending money.
You said that the other day. You like spending money on your horses, sorry.
Yeah,
but it's good.
It's a lifestyle, isn't it?
100%. And do you know what? For anybody that is saying, "Oh yeah, they cost loads of money," it's like, yeah, but look at what it gives you. It gives you your happiness. It gives you your exercise. It gives you your social. It gives you your community, purpose. You know, Ivy's a confident young girl. She knows she's resilient. You know, all these things. I bet, you know, when she's 30 odd years old, or any adult would love to have those attributes in their personality or in their lifestyle, and would pay a lot more to have that. So, I mean, I think, I think it was definitely worth the trade off. 100%.
Yes, I agree. I think so too. Whether Daddy agrees or not.
Yeah, I know his pain. Because it's always like whenever Shan or Aya comes into the warehouse, like they come in and I see him walk past my office, I know they're going to be taking something out of the warehouse. And I was like, what are you doing? Oh, we're just getting a new bridle, Daddy. Don't worry. No, put it back.
Oh yeah, I mean, you couldn't have Ivy anywhere near your warehouse.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, no, we'll have to get you some. I'm sure you're packed full of stuff, but we'll get you some stuff sent over so you can ride in it, and I'm sure it'll be comfortable when you're mucking out your pony very, very early in the morning.
I love getting up early, but your mum does it all before work, and I feel bad for her. You just stay inside, like, can't be bothered. And I want to get out of there, but you won't let me. Like, stay in, you don't want to get cold. I don't care if I get cold.
You do like being out there. So I'm really lucky. My mum comes and does the morning shift before she goes to work, and then I do the rest of the day, you see.
Wow.
It works really well. But
she'll come in the morning.
She gets mad on a weekend if we've kind of got on, and because it's quicker without them a lot of the time as well.
No, it's not.
if like my mum comes and does it, or we're out there in the morning and we leave Ivy in bed, say, yeah, we get in trouble because she likes the 6 a.m. starts. I mean, the show
Shows are all right.
They're excited. Like, are you waking up at 5 o'clock? Like,
Wow.
what other children are doing that?
No, not very
children
many.
want to stay in bed. Like, they don't want to be out in the freezing cold. I'm the opposite. Like, I want to be out in the freezing cold. Get wake me up at 6 o'clock. Like,
yeah, and you can't quite be. I mean, being at home as well. You know, going out in your jammies, that's just the best thing ever. You know, like when we first got them and we didn't have the stable set up, but they were in the field, we would go out when we in our dressing gowns on a night with like a cup of tea and a hot chocolate, and we'd go and check on them.
No. Shan does the exact same.
Does she?
Exact same, and then comes back in, like she'll muck out in her pajamas and then come and sit next to me and like just smell of horse. It's like, do you not realise like what you've just go and have a shower, go and get changed, please. Do you also have your horse coat, your mucking out coat?
I choose any coat really. I use my school coat, and I go to school in it.
Yeah, she does.
I stink of a horse. I don't care.
Because Shan's got a coat. Shan's got a coat that she mucks out in, and it reeks to high heaven. And then she puts it on the radiator in the house, and the whole smell just resonates throughout the whole house. It's ridiculous. I was just saying, I don't know if it's her or if it's like if everybody else has it, but if you guys don't have it, I might have to have a word with her. So
yeah, no, to be honest, have you got your horses on straw?
Shavings. You say my horses. They're only mine when I have to pay for them. Like obviously, well,
I feel like having shavings
is better.
Gets rid of the smell. When we were on straw, they were a lot more smelly. Whereas the shavings. But the other thing is, I'm saying that we don't smell and our coats don't smell. I think you get so used to it as well, don't you? That I'm saying we don't have smelly horse coats, but I bet if I asked my friends, they said we had smelly horse coats.
I think that's you do. You go blind to it. You go nose blind to it. You do. You 100% do. Because there was one time we were in assembly and Shan sat next to me in a smelly horse coat, and I said, "Have you brought the coat with you?" She's like, "What? I've only just washed it." It's like it stinks. It stinks in the assembly. So yeah, maybe just have maybe keep the mucking out coat, the horse coat, in the stables somewhere. Maybe that. I want to ask Ivy one more thing that about her friends. And if you asked your friends at school to come to Pony Club, what do you think they would say? Would they be happy coming to it, or do you think they wouldn't come to it?
I think what he's meaning is if you said, so you don't have to say names and things of your friends, but if you said to your school friends, do you want to come and spend a full day at Pony Club, looking out, learning how to ride, learning to do these things, do you think they would want to do that?
2 of them would say yes, 2 of them would say no.
Well, so you've got a bit of a mixed thing. Ivy's always coming home saying her friends want to come and ride the ponies, and we've had a few here. And it's the case of like, they get on.
3 actually.
And then they're like, when we get home, we're going to ask Daddy if we can have a pony. And their mums are like, no. You know, sometimes it can spark an idea in somebody's head.
Yeah.
And it's really nice for us to be able to give some of Ivy's school friends that opportunity that they maybe wouldn't have had before.
Definitely. That's what I was going to ask. Like when they come, are they happy? Are they excited? But what I'm more trying to get at is, Ivy, is that the children that aren't in the equestrian world, like how do we get them into the equestrian world? How do we get them into, not owning a horse, but maybe going down to someone's yard to help out, or, maybe going to ride a pony now and again? How do you think we could get them into doing that?
I would say maybe learning about the horse and listening how exciting it could be, and then you could come down and love it or not love it, and what they have listened it could. So what I mean is like a person listens to how it could be exciting and about the horse, and they could come and love it or not love it. But what they heard could be they want to do it, they don't want to do it. Like, you get me? Like, it's you listen
So
to
you
it.
think they might need inspiring to be
Yeah.
able to have an understanding of what it could be like to have a pony?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you weren't a riding school, is that correct?
No, so the story is my granddad opened up the riding school, and my mum and dad ran it. It's still a riding school, but it's actually now an SEN school, a special educational needs school. So they teach children with certain needs, maths, English, and science, but they also get to go like horse riding as well as a lesson.
Wow,
Which is
that's
incredible.
incredible.
So yeah, they really love it.
I think riding schools, especially around here, I think COVID changed a lot, and there isn't the riding schools like there used to be. I mean, we had one in our local town that was renowned for years and years, and it was a case of you traded time for your lesson. So you would go muck out 7 horses, and then you would get a time on a pony. You know, we don't have that around here anymore. There's a couple, they're at least an hour drive. So we've had so many of Ivy's friends come, be around the ponies, love them, love the riding. We've had a couple that I've been like, they would be fabulous little riders, but they've not got the facilities to be able to go and explore that, which I think is really sad, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's like you said, that they are closing down left, right, and centre because the cost of running them now is just phenomenal.
Yeah, the insurance is a huge thing as well, isn't it? I mean, we actually have a riding school in our village that has closed down and isn't a thing now. There's a big indoor arena that's completely put to waste now because it was a thing of the past. And I think you probably could get more children into the equestrian world if there was more opportunities for them, and the price as well. You know, to look at a one-to-one lesson now, you're looking at £40-50. I mean, who's going to do that for a hobby that is potentially, you know, if you could do once a week, or they're not potentially going to be able to follow through with. It's really tricky, isn't it?
It is hard.
For people to get in it.
Yeah, it is hard. I mean, I remember in our riding school when an hour's lesson was, I think, £7 or something like that. And then over the years, I think it ended up being, I can't remember exactly, but I think close to being 40. But like you said, you've got your insurance to pay, you've got your business rates to pay, you've got your staff to pay, you've got your electric, you've got your hay, you've got your vet, you've got, all these bills, and everything's just going up and up and up. So in order to make it pay, they've got to be charged these sort of things, but people don't have the money to do it, which is a real shame. And I keep trying to think of ways of how to sort of, even if you go down to a yard, or if anybody's like open to even letting a child come and pet the horse, or whatever it is. I don't know.
I've had the exact same conversation with my husband. I'm like, there is a market out there for not even a riding school, but just a space for children to come and be with them.
Bless you. Yeah.
How I would fathom that, I don't know. I mean, I've got ponies that would be amazing at doing that, but it's hard without running it, I suppose, as a business, isn't it? And insurance is such a huge thing, which is why we do try and kind of give Ivy's friends the opportunities to do it, because it's really nice. Some of Ivy's friends that they've never even sat on a pony, and we've given them that experience.
Mm-hmm. It is special. It's something very, very special, and it's something that.
And that's why I would say to Ivy, do not take this for granted, because you can't remember the amount of times you've been on a pony, but you have some friends that have got to the age of 10 at school and they've never sat on a pony.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's just being grateful, isn't it, for what you've got. But I definitely think there's a space for a way to inspire non-horsey families to get into it. Yeah,
definitely, because I think it holds such a key to people's well-being.
I honestly don't know how people live without them.
I think Ivy's blowing her nose.
Is she on the mic?
I can hear.
Ivy, you doing? Oh, that's so funny.
That's why I said bless you. I thought she was still in the room, but she must be somewhere. She sneezed and said, "Oh, bless you." You must have thought, "What are you talking about? Bless me."
Thought you were saying how sweet it was that I was thinking about potentially opening up some form of.
I just realised, because you can't hear the speaker that I can hear.
No, I can't hear her. No.
Oh, that was funny. Like, I thought she's in the room, and it just twigged. Then I was like, "Why am I saying bless you? Ivy's not even in the room. She's gonna think I'm crazy."
That's so funny. You're obviously on the mic, so were you blowing your nose? Did you sneeze? I think he's heard you on the mic.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Yeah. Oh, it's flush the toilet. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I didn't hear. Well, I don't think I heard that. I just heard the sneezing, which is fine.
Oh, that's so
So,
funny.
I mean, I suppose the the last question I've got is like, what's next? What have you got planned for this year, for example? What's in the plan and what's in the future?
Probably just to get out and get shown, really. I really like showing. I used to love jumping, but I've come out of it. And I
When you
think
say
it's
showing, what
showing.
type of showing? What type of showing?
Working hunter, normal,
First riddens and things like that,
and maybe a little, shirt jumping.
I think
Yeah.
we want to do a little bit of everything, don't we?
Yeah.
Obviously, puzzles, we've only had him 3 months. So I think this year is going to be building a really solid friendship with him, isn't it? And trying to get out and about doing lots of different things. But you predominantly want to do your showing this year, I think, don't you? And just build their relationship, and because that's another thing, isn't it? It's all well and good getting your children to a certain level, but getting a new pony, you're almost back at square one. So
Definitely.
we've had this huge couple of years with Gwen and got Ivy off the leader in, and everything's been, hard work, but amazing. And then you're right back with a pony you don't know. You've got to build up trust. You've got to build up a friendship. You've got to work out what they like, what they don't like. So I think this year is kind of going to be our building year, isn't it? And
just make it sure.
Well, I mean, so
together.
what I've got is, if you're happy to do so, I've got some quick fire round questions. I've got 10 of them.
Yeah.
Well, before we get on to that, like obviously we were talking about your mom and your grandma. Is there anybody, I'm sure she deserves a shout out. But is there anything else that we've not talked about today that you think, we should have mentioned, or is anybody else that you want to mention who helps you out every single day and week and what's it with the ponies?
Do you think Daddy maybe needs a bit of a shout out?
Yeah.
Because what does Daddy do to help us?
Turns a trailer, really, because you are a wimp.
Yeah. He's the tower, isn't he?
He's the tower of the house.
Yeah. And he has to put up with
everything we do.
Yeah, so his life pretty much revolves, this will be like you, it's kind of ponies first, then the children, and then him.
Well, listen.
So I think Daddy and I think Granny, they're both kind of, everyone messages me like, how do you do it all? And I'm like, I've just got some good people around me. I think you need support. You need a support system, definitely.
So shout out all to the equestrian dadas, the grandmas, the grannies, and a shout out to all the equestrian dads out there as well. Yeah, I think you've got a good team. I think you've got a great team. That's really lovely that you've got the support as well, because it's very important to have. So I've got some questions that I found on certain horse riding forums that about parents maybe getting the children into riding, but a bit unsure. Again, how relative they are now after you've answered all these other questions, I don't know, but we'll still give it a go.
Okay.
The first question is what's the best age for a child to start riding, and do you think earlier is always better?
I would say earlier is better, because the more time you learn about them, the more better you get, it will help.
I completely agree. I think getting into it younger, 100%.
Yeah, awesome, brilliant. This is a good one. So, do kids really need their own pony, or can they learn just as well on riding school ponies?
For getting pony, it was because other ponies you don't really want. You'll fall in love with them one day, you'll probably get your own, and you won't want that pony. So I would say,
you think it would be hard, falling in love with a riding school pony,
and
then not being able to have that pony? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. I think there's definitely a place for riding schools, 100%. To initially get you going, but I do think until you've got your own, you don't quite get the whole picture of what it is like to have an own ponies, I think.
Okay, awesome. Brilliant. Well, this is a good one. So what surprised you most about pony ownership that nobody warned you about?
I
think for Ivy, because she doesn't remember a life without having them almost. I think that's a bit tricky really, because can you ever remember not having horses?
No.
So it's a bit like, I don't really know. I think you'd probably struggle with that.
Fair enough.
I think for me, the weather, the fact that you live by the weather.
The weather. Yeah, no, that's a very good point, to be
Constantly
fair.
on BBC checking the forecast, because you kind of have to. And I think with that alongside it is that I was saying to my friend the other day, like, we all meet on a Friday with mums and we go with the babies, we go for coffee. I have to be home for lunch because I have to be Dixie to sleep, to do the ponies, to do whatever. I think the biggest shock is that your whole life has to revolve around them, isn't it? Because they come first, they need looking after every day and they need mucking out and feeding. So I think the quicker you realise that, the better.
No, definitely. No, this is it. A lot of people think, well, you've got an animal there that needs tending to and looking after. So, like I said, there you have to make a lot of sacrifices. It's not always an easy thing to be involved in.
Yeah, definitely.
Here's probably quite an interesting one. So, what's one piece of riding kit parents think they need straight away but actually don't?
Oh,
I would say
I think we definitely need a hat.
Yeah.
So I think your non-negotiable is a hat, body protector, but something that they maybe think they need that you maybe don't need.
Maybe some ties or boots.
I was actually going to say riding boots, but what I'm saying in that is you don't need expensive riding boots. The little short boots that you can pick up secondhand are pretty
With a heel,
yeah, pretty fine, aren't they? I mean, you look at these riding boots they're in now, they'll be hundreds of pounds, but actually you just probably need a £20 pair of
short
boots.
Yeah, no, Devin, we used to say like Wellingtons, like, you get like the £10 wellies that have got a little bit of a heel on it to start off with anyway,
Yeah.
I can't imagine like someone doing, in Pre-St. George being, doing welly, that'd be interesting. Actually, I'd actually quite like to see that, actually. That'd be quite funny. Dunlop wellies going along.
Yes.
So, okay. So what do you do when confidence knocks take over, like after a fall or a scary moment? So like if you fall off, like what do you do? What do you say to yourself?
So, right, Ivy, or whoever, you've got this. Try your best. Do it again. And get your confidence back. That's what I say to myself. And then it all really is, I would say,
What's Mummy's favourite phrase that she always says? We have to go back to
basics.
Yeah, so I think we kind of have that as a bit of a motto that if something doesn't work or we get stuck at a bit of a brick wall and we can't quite get over the problem that we're dealing with, we kind of say, like, let's just take it back to basics, strip it back and then move forward.
That's lovely. Ivy, just a question for you as well. When you just said then, when you fall off, you're saying in your head, come on, Ivy, you've got this. Now, when you say that, is that your own voice that's saying it or is it someone else's voice saying it?
It's my voice.
Yeah?
It was probably Puzzle's voice.
Puzzle's voice.
It's funny that she's just learning all about the thinking as well as the doing. So like her riding instructor at the minute is teaching her if she wants to walk, she needs to think walk, and then her body will say walk, and then Puzzle will understand that we need to walk. So that's really good that you're talking to yourself, because hopefully that will then communicate through to Puzzle. We maybe are getting somewhere.
Definitely. No, definitely. Well done. No, it's good. Okay, so how do you know if a pony is actually the right pony for a child?
So what would we look for when we were looking for another pony? What was our key things to know if they were right for you or right for a child? What were the things we were looking for?
Right size.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Healthy.
Yeah.
Not naughty and good in hand.
So what would be the first thing Mummy would look for if I was looking for a horse? Can you remember what we talked about?
Not.
So when you say not naughty, you mean safe, don't you?
Yes, safe, like in a way.
So I would say safety is paramount over anything.
Definitely agree with that one.
Something that's kind.
Yeah. What about how the pony would make you feel, Ivy?
The pony would have to make you feel what?
Feel confident and
Happy?
Is it important that you feel loved, yeah, and you feel happy and they make you feel good?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to be on a pony that frightened you or made you feel sad.
So, you
Yeah.
want to be on a pony that's a safe pony. It gives you confidence. It's
makes you feel
loved and
very good, Ivy.
That's fine.
Perfect answer. Love that. Very good. Okay, this is interesting. So what life skills do ponies teach kids that you don't expect at the beginning? Like what's ponies taught Ivy that you didn't expect they would teach her?
say I never knew when I was a child that ponies would teach you how to jump.
You didn't imagine yourself jumping
Yeah.
and doing all those types of things. And I think empathy. I think empathy is a huge one because you've got to try and understand an animal's emotions without them being able to talk to you about what that is. So I think that's we've had a few of those in the past, haven't we, with different things we've had to tweak and change and ultimately, like Ivy's got frustrated in the past with her ponies, and it's that conversation of they're not doing this, they're doing this for a reason, and it's trying to it's a skill, isn't it, in itself, trying to understand why an animal is doing what they're doing when they can't just say to you, that's hurting me or that's bothering me or whatever. So I think that in itself is a huge skill.
Definitely 100%. And the last question I've got here, if a parent listening has a horse-mad child at home right now, what's the very first step they should take?
So if one of your friends was desperate to be around ponies and loved ponies, and their mum was like, we really, really want them to ride, but we don't know what to do about it, what would you tell them to do?
I would say...
Sonia, what would you say?
Take it slow.
Yeah, take it slow. But how do you think they could get into riding? What do you think they could do?
I don't know.
So probably try at a riding school and see if they liked it.
Yeah, or have a pony online.
Yeah.
Options.
I think if you've got a friend that's got a horse or a pony, I think that's a great way to just test the water. Won't cost you any money, hopefully. You'll be able to go and have a sit on free of charge, and then a riding school, I suppose, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's all the questions. And Ivy, I don't know if you've realised this, but we've been sat here for an hour and a half, and you have been so good. If it was my little boy or little girl, they'd have been jumping everywhere, scraping down the walls, doing all sorts of naughty things, and you've been.
But I think the swinging of the chair is maybe an indication that we're maybe getting
That's exactly what I thought. Oh, well,
you've done amazing.
You've done fantastic, Ivy, and honestly, it's so lovely to see all your content, and it's lovely to speak to you and see what a confident, chatty little young lady you are. Honestly, really, really special, and you're very lucky to have the support you've got around you. So, yeah, I hope you give your mummy and daddy and dada, you know, your grandma a big hug every single day.
I'm very grateful for what you've got.
You are. You can tell. You can tell.
Yeah, so
but
you
yeah, no,
enjoyed
thank
that.
you.
Yeah.
You did, and Laura as well. I know it's you know, obviously we gave a shout out to the equestrian grannies and the equestrian dads before, but shout out to the equestrian mums. Like, you know, you do a lot of stuff, and I know how difficult it is firsthand. So, you know, well done
Thank
to you,
you.
and all the content you
Thank
make is just phenomenal, and yeah, really, you should be really proud of you both of what community you've made on there, and the
Thank
following you've
you.
got. And lovely to speak to you as well. But what we'll do is after this, I'll give you a message after. We'll get some Ivy some riding gear sent over, so you can go into the summer feeling a bit fresh and whatnot, and not smelling of horse stables and wee and poo.
We
and all
just
that
need
sort of
some
thing.
weather now. We just need some nice weather. We're just praying for some sunshine.
It's definitely coming. It's definitely coming. All the snowdrops are out. I can see outside the window there, and all the daffodils I think are starting to come up. So we're getting there.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for coming on. Honestly, been a really lovely episode. Really lovely speaking to you both.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. It's nice to be able to get our voice out there, I suppose, and hopefully
Definitely.
inspire some other parents to maybe think about getting their children into it, or just
Yeah.
No, it is. It's really special what you're doing. So keep doing it, please do. And then, yeah, look forward to seeing what's going on in the future. Maybe we can have you on another couple of years and then see where you're up to, huh?
That would be amazing. Wanted to see how you progressed in a couple of years.
That'd be
Hopefully
really
by then
cool.
Dixie will be fully fledged rider, won't she? And she'll be off.
Yeah.
We'll be doing it all again with her.
Yeah.
The beauty this time is Ivy can teach Dixie. I don't have to do any of that.
Yeah. You still will be.
No, brilliant. No, honestly, thank you so much to you both. Yeah, really enjoyed it, and good luck with everything all this year with showing. I'm sure I'll keep in contact with you all, and I'll see it. But good luck for everything, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you ever so much.